Okay, this is Travis Wingoodsill. We'll try to see if we can get comment replies done in 20 minutes. Yeah, we start off with, I didn't get to the temple video. I started getting February's money finally. If you're unfamiliar with what happened, I did the videos on it. Alright, so the first one, is Jennifer Flower, a regular, and she's replying to lie to rescue LDS Mormons from the LDS Mormon Church. She had commented earlier, which I replied to her, and I don't think I put that on the video, but it's okay. She's asking me this time around, Travis, I wonder wonder is what was meant, what you'd say to this guy. This particular guy that she's referring to, because I can see the picture in my Gmail. When you post links, I'm able to see what the video is that you're linking. He's the one that I already commented on for his claims that the Book of Mormon is evidence of truth, following the apologetic, BYU apologetic method of studying Scripture, which is complete nonsense. When I went to Rick's, I took a Scripture study class. That is how you study Scripture. But that class didn't count at the University of Lethbridge, for they taught us how to also study Scripture. And so, yeah, the Mormon Church at their universities and in their institute and seminary and Sunday school, they do not teach you how to research and study Scriptures. They do a surface reading is what it really is. When you come across a word, they try to get you to look for other words in other parts of Scriptures, other comparable stories maybe. They do not have you go in deep to actually verify what the Scripture is talking about. They will not go there. And they should go there because the Book of Mormon claims to correct the Bible, even though it's plagiarized. And this particular guy, he's a part of a young Mormon group who do apologetic Mormon videos. So yeah, he's been taught by BYU apologists at BYU. That's very clear. So to answer your question, Jennifer, I'm answering it. I've already replied with his video about the Book of Mormon is true because of his study methods, and one of the study methods is it's the same as the Bible. And so I did my video titled something like plagiarism in the Book of Mormon is proof of its truth. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. It's the last category on his Scripture study methods. I lost it. And so I had to do a video on it. It was so hilarious. And I think I've seen this one too. It's where he says, I'm a black Mormon. And I think I even commented on his video. And so, Jennifer, if you didn't search through his comments, or maybe he deleted it. He never replied, so he may have deleted my comment. But I congratulated him, or acknowledged his recognition that the Book of Mormon is not racist. And then went on to fill him in on some historical information that would be of interest for him. So it was harmless. It's his website. I'm not going to attack other people on their website, even when I know that they're just outright wrong and deceiving people out there. And they're getting more views. See, Sunday Jess came out with a new one, I think over the weekend. I've told in previous videos that I have subscribed to her because I'm curious to know what millennials are thinking about the Mormon Church. And so there was her review of South Park's All About Mormons episode. And that's why I often say dum 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 dum, is because I finally got around to watching South Park's episode All About Mormons. It is hilarious. So, yeah, being black and Mormon is almost the same as being black and Republican. It just doesn't mix. If I understand correctly, Abraham Lincoln was Republican, but back then it was like being a Democrat. And so, no, Lincoln technically, though in name, was Republican, I think. I can do a quick Google search. What party did Abraham Lincoln? National Union Party. So it's interesting. Okay. So thus the Union versus the Confederates. All right. But yeah, the Confederates were more Republican, like Trump's Republicanism today. And so the Union would have been more communistic, more socialist. The Union Party. So, all right. So it wasn't Democrat, but it is similar to the Democrats today. Alrighty, and so yeah, that's what I said to this guy, and what I would say to this guy. I'm sorry, guys. You cannot be black and Mormon. You may love Jesus, but you don't need to belong to this church, the LDS church, to worship Jesus. Go to your Book of Mormon. Look up the story about the poor Zoramites who were kicked out of the synagogue by the rich Zoramites. And Alma and Amulek went to those people and explained the whole thing to them. And I'm explaining it to you now. If you have to change the church in order to conform to Jesus's law of love, it's the wrong church. It's not Jesus's church. It's that simple. And so nobody needs to feel bad about leaving the church. It's wrong. There is no curse from God that'll come upon you for leaving the church. I know it's scary if you've lived your whole life. Even when I was threatened by my bishop, Reed Hammond, yes, I'm giving names. I always want to remember to say his name so that everybody will know. He said, don't promote the Book of Mormon as the official doctrine for the fall of Adam. And I've done that video about the prophets, the 14 fundamentals. This is a 2-part video. That's where it came from. And Benson was not the president of the church when he gave it, which means it is not revelation and commandment for the church. Watch the video series. You'll find out. And so, as much as I'm sure this kid was born and raised in the church, maybe his parents were converts, maybe his grandparents were converts, I don't know. If his grandparents were converts, then he would know about how his family had been oppressed and suppressed in the church that claimed to be led by Jesus, that every order and commandment given by the prophets were as if they were Jesus himself giving the order. And are we sure that that's the kind of God we want to worship? No, it's not. So, yeah, you don't need to belong to the church of your birth or a church that claims Jesus in order to worship Jesus. You just don't need it. You don't need Christianity. You don't need to go to church. And that may shock people, you know, because when you get in the habit of going to church week after week after week after week, year after year after year, decade after decade, it becomes what Karl Marx said about religion as being the opiate of the masses. He wasn't dissing on Jesus. He was dissing on corruption of religion. And that's what religion does. They addict you so that you keep coming back, so that you keep giving them money. It's a scam operation. The true Church of Jesus would take money and give it right back to the poor to elevate the poor out of poverty. That's what Jesus did. Look it up. So any of these churches that are, you know, buying their 4th jetliner, buying their 5th yacht, or who are building temples which accrue as an asset and help others elevate their already established wealth, because when you build a temple in a community, all the housing around it go up in value. And so when the church places a temple somewhere, they're helping out those people. So we can search the records and the addresses of those who live by the temples, such as the Bountiful Temple. Who was down the block from the Bountiful Temple? President Eyring, Henry B. Eyring Jr. He was the one in the position of searching for a place to put temples. So conflict of interest, to enrich himself, to elevate his property values, and then the church pays him a wage to match the increase in the amount that he has to pay for his house. The check's online everywhere. All you have to do is Google it. Henry B. Eyring, paycheck. That was leaked a couple years ago. My home teachers broke the news to me back in the day when I was still going to church and had home teachers visiting me. And they were saying, you know, the prophets, it's okay for them to have a job. They're working. I was like, what's going on? Huh? I'm missing something. I must be still watching Fox News. So, yeah, it's not a lay ministry, people. They're enriching themselves in positions of leadership. All right. E. Irving Diaz. Very informative video. Thanks for sharing. Last Days Messiah, Part 7, Egyptian Origins. You're welcome. It's an underappreciated video series. It's a very long video series, but it goes over each and every person's religion, even Egyptian, as you heard from E. Irving. Is that E. Irving Diaz, I think, if I remember right. And so, yeah, there were lots of prophecies about this last days Messiah. And Mormons have theirs, Christians have theirs, and I'm sorry guys, it's not Jesus. And so he talks about the Torah symbolism, last days Messiah video, and he says, well said. So welcome to my channel, and thank you for your comments. Thank you for viewing what has been underappreciated. Alrighty, Jennifer's back. I'm well, watching your vids when I can. I asked her how she was doing, as I commented to that other reply I mentioned. Because I'm interested in you guys. Everybody has interesting lives. When I was in New York, I loved just sitting and talking with the people as you build relationships of trust. You know, you don't just jump right in and say, hey, you heard the Book of Mormon? It's got Jesus in it. Praise Jesus. Join the church. Let's get baptized. How's Thursday at 7 for you? You don't do that. You got to get to know the people. They've got to trust you. And so, yeah, you've got to learn how to socialize if you don't. And so, yeah, everybody has an interesting story. Unfortunately, there are those who I'm finding out who you don't want to get to know, like that bishop who was a sex trafficker who got caught here in Utah. Bishops, man. And so I remember one time we were traveling. I can't remember what the travel trip was for. I think we were going up to Idaho. And along the way to Idaho, my sister needed to use the bathroom. She's 17 years younger than I am. And so we were trying to find a pullover stop, and there wasn't one for miles yet. And then my dad saw some residential housing off the road, and he pulled off, and we were driving by to see which house, and I went and made the comment after they weren't sure about if they should just go and knock on a house and ask to use the restroom. And I said, yeah, they might be, I can't remember the comment. It had something to do with they may be mass murderers who are storing bodies down in their basement. They all laughed and then decided, oh, okay, well, let's just go and knock on the door. And they were friendly and let her go to the bathroom. But there are people like that out there. And there's a disturbing movie. Kurt Douglas? No, his son. Can't remember his name. It's a movie about he and his wife. They're taking a trip in their Suburban from through Nevada, I guess, on their way to California or something like that. And they stop to get gas. His wife is kidnapped, and then he tries to find her, chases her down, and then they extort money from him. And oh man, ugh. So yeah, there are a lot of disturbing people out there. Ted Bundy, David Gaunt said he had sat with him in a library here in Utah and had a chat with him before everything hit the fan about him. And so yeah, there's a lot of evil out there. And I grew up in high school sitting in art class listening to the evil of the minds of the teenage boys. Disturbing stuff. So good to hear you're doing well, Jennifer. All right, I'm still waiting for MD. I hope you're okay. I hope I didn't chase you off with my comment about honeydew list. I was looking forward to hearing from you over the weekend, and I hope it's just that you got so busy and that I've been doing these hour-plus videos that you got way behind. So I'm still waiting to hear from you. Just because I said honeydew doesn't mean it was an insult. And Colin, the Batman, who I think from another comment indicated he's a teenager. Use a green screen, that'd be dope. And so this is the video where I just said planning my next video exposure of the LDS Mormon Church. I didn't share it. I did put it as part of my likes, but I didn't expect much from this video. It was just sharing what's going on and what I was planning to do today, or that day. When was this? Whatever. So, yeah, I'm sure Colin would probably be the one to ask to help me do that. I'm not sure if my movie maker can turn my face green. Messiah Ben Joseph. I haven't heard from you in a while. I was thinking about you earlier this morning. Put your videos in playlists. Yeah, I've been doing that. I have 3 main ones for my Mormon ones. One is LDS videos. Oh, we're at 6 o'clock. Okay, now we're fine. It's repetitive stuff today. There was Mueller filed some stuff today, but other than that, there's no new information. And so I have LDS videos. I have getting Mormons out of the church, something titled like that, and then how to be a better president than the president of the church. Those are the 3 main ones that I do my Mormon videos with as playlists. And then obviously the liked one. You know, if I like my videos, they go into that liked playlist, and so I do that specifically to see if I can attract people to all those videos in the playlist. So yeah, I haven't heard Messiah. I haven't heard from that Russian lawyer. He's dropped out. I haven't heard from him since. After I gave him the first few pages of the translation, the written translation. So if you see Russia coming out with some shocking videos of brass plates being found in Russia or something like that, you'll know the source origin for what's going on there. Okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I noticed that because I've got so many videos now, YouTube won't let me scroll down through all of them. It cuts me off after like 100 or so. And so that was frustrating. So I think this was the one where I figured out how to look at certain types of videos. And I think the one I was looking at was the most popular ones. Okay. But Messiah Ben Joseph, that may be why the Russian lawyer was your buddy for the last several years, is because of your channel title or the name you're using. Russians would find that very helpful for propaganda campaign. There she is. There she is. Good, good, good. All right. So here's MD commenting on my LDS Mormon comment replies to unsound argument. MD will love it. Now I'm only talking to MD? What? Oh. She's quoting me. So, yeah, good to hear from you. I'm a few days behind, but out here casually listening to comment videos. Just confirming your assumption. Don't know if I'm the only one, but yeah, I'm here. Yeah, that video was probably an hour and a half. Most people don't listen that long. There's only a few of you who do. Another person that I haven't heard from in a long while is Random Muse. Random Muse is very poetic in their criticism and sarcasm for the church. I love reading Random Muse, so I miss Random Muse as well. All right. And the real LDS Carthage Church, or LDS Church Carthage conspiracy. Oh my God, Locutus. You cannot do that, Locutus. That's trying to silence me. He's saying, please do a better job of presenting this and post another one. Oh my God. You're trying to silence me. Just because you don't like my manner of presentation, I'm not a professional. I'm not from some channel, TV channel or movie channel or music channel. They do professional work. They're not supposed to be on YouTube. This is for us, regular people. We are supposed to be able to communicate with other real people around the world and share videos with each other and comment back and forth. Oh, I love that dress you tried on in this video. It was so cute. Or, oh, your dog is so adorable, and stuff like that. Oh, I hope you feel better. That type of stuff. So guys, come on. So now I have to delete your comment, Locutus. And that'll give me a chance, because this is the last one. So I can get rid of the notifications in here. Oops. No, go away. And I'm not going to comment on here about to Locutus having comment removed. So I'm doing it here in the videos. Alrighty. That's abusive speech, guys. And as I think it was Jennifer who I got into a discussion about that, talking about hate speech, bullying speech, and lie speech are not protected under the First Amendment. And that's the big discussion. We have a president who's on Twitter bullying, lying, and committing crimes, or admitting to crimes on Twitter, violating Twitter's terms and conditions policy. And they're not canceling his service. They're letting him continue. And as a result, other people are following Trump's example, because Twitter is not holding him accountable. Because nobody's holding him accountable. And as a result, we have the mail bomber that went around to Trump's opponents to show them, protect Trump. And you have Congress, 2 years of Republicans controlling the whole government, not doing anything for their duty, for their country, for their oath of office, to put a check on the president. They were more concerned about their next election, getting voted in, and protecting Trump at all costs, even as Republican after Republican after Republican were quitting. And the rise of hate crimes and violence has just skyrocketed. And all of them for 2018 were all, and even 17 started the rise, all crimes, violent crimes, were committed by white supremacist groups. And then we find out that the border guards, who are supposed to be caring for and watching over the immigrants in the concentration tent camps, they're 5,000 accusations of rape and sexual assaults. 5,000. And so, yeah, you don't have free speech when you take away the rights of life, liberty, and property of others. When you promote violence against others. And who was it? Something Sans 900, Man Sans 900, I think. He went too far. He started doing a Stephen thing of babbling his own beliefs on my channel. And even when I told him, go to your channel, you've got your own channel, post your videos on your channel. And he still kept doing it. And then when I was about to have enough with him and ban him from my channel, I then see, and I never did see it on Gmail. It's not in the notifications either. So somehow he got it put on my channel. And he was talking about actual violence towards the church and an unrelated issue, violence towards Islam. And so I had to report him as a hate crime, hate speech. You cannot do that, guys. It is a criminal act to bully people, to encourage violence towards other people, and lie. Because when you lie about somebody, everybody then says, oh, he says that you did this. And when they say, no, I didn't do that, well, we don't believe you. Prove it to us. You're guilty until proven innocent. And that's what happened with the Me Too movement. It started out with a whole bunch of people finally getting a voice for sexual assaults. And then people tried to sabotage it. And people started making false accusations. And that stopped it. But I don't know if any of those false accusations got held accountable. Because even when I saw the Me Too movement coming out, I was like, oh, no, 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 I understand, but no, you can't do this. You need to take it to the courts. And I understand the courts aren't letting you take it to the courts. I am a victim of that myself, where my first wife up and took away my kids and my property and abandoned the marriage and fled the country. And the government would do nothing to help me, and instead helped her. And so I understand of the injustice in this world, in this nation, in this state of Utah. But you know, I can understand doing a civil rights movement type thing, which is what the Me Too movement was. But if you start going around accusing specific individuals for the purpose of destroying their life rather than taking them to court, because there was a number of women who said, no, I'm not interested in taking it to court. I just want the world to know what a horrible person this guy is. No, you can't do that. If you have an accusation against somebody, it must be resolved in the courts. That's what the Constitution says. You have the right to petition for a redress of grievances in the First Amendment. And then the accused is supposed to have a speedy trial. Not 3 months, not years. A speedy trial. Because his life is in jeopardy. His liberty is in jeopardy. His property is in jeopardy because of your accusation. If you're giving a false accusation, he needs his name cleared immediately. And you need to be held accountable for your false accusation. And so when I saw the movement, I knew there was going to be trouble. And sure enough, people were losing their jobs, and their lives were ruined, wives were leaving them, and the families broken up, and people were still at the end, you know, saying, hey, I didn't do anything. You know, this isn't right. And people weren't being taken to courts to resolve the issue. There's one guy who just started a brand new show series on CBS. I can't remember his name, but it had to do about an AI computer system that was able to track down through a social media app criminals asking the public for help. And he got accused, and CBS terminated him from working at CBS and terminated the show. And now you can't get it on DVD. And I think Amazon had it, but you have to pay like $1 billion for the whole episode, the whole season. So I'm not too willing to pay that much for it. It wasn't that great. Yeah, his life is ruined, and I haven't heard anything about him pleading guilty, saying, oh yes, I actually did it. He was saying, no, I didn't do it. This is not right. And I'm not hearing anything about him going to the courts either. You know, he has been punished without a guilty verdict in a court of law, speedy trial. Jury of peers, you know, the jury of peers did not get all of the evidence. They heard the one side, and that ruined his life. So I'm not sure if he was legitimate or not. Others, I was wondering, what is it true or not? And then they come out and confess. And so, okay, you blew it by confessing. You should have gone to trial. And if you're found guilty, you need to do the maximum penalty. I don't like any of this plea bargaining crap, but yeah. So, no, there is free speech, but you are not free to take away the freedom of others. It's that simple. So, you know, your comment's gone, Locutus. You weren't attacking me per se. You were doing a little subtle thing. And so, yeah, I am expecting to see you again, and realize that you'll probably have to be banned altogether if you escalate. But interestingly, the other person I thought would respond and escalate to force me to ban them didn't, whereas other previous ones had. So that's interesting. So yeah, the only speech that should be banned is speech that takes away the rights of others. Alrighty, so I believe that is it. Yep, that's it. Okay. Yeah, tomorrow I'll have more of my money from February coming in. It started trickling in this evening as well as first thing this morning, and so the rest of it should be here by tomorrow. So I'll have to take care of that tomorrow, and then pay off some bills, and yeah, I'll work on the temple video tomorrow too. I've got a note here for that. I thought I had done one already, but I guess I didn't. So maybe I snuck it in one of my long videos. I don't know. But we'll do a picture video with my voiceover. So he won't see my face on that one. He'll just see the Egyptian scenes that portray each stage of the Egyptian temple endowment. And sorry, there's no underwear that has Freemasonic marking of the square and compass on it, or hand signs and tokens, secret handshakes. That's a Freemason thing too. So, alrighty. We're 40 minutes away from Rachel. She's interviewing Nadler. who's on the warpath to take down Trump. But yeah, this is going too slow. Everybody's saying, oh, it's going to take 2 years to do all these investigations, and yeah. So that's what because I warned everybody, if Democrats do not sweep both the House and the Senate, nothing's going to happen. And sure enough, the Senate was able to maintain Republican majority, and nothing's going to get done because Republicans are loyal to the party and to Trump rather than to us, the people, and so nothing's going to get done. Even if the House exposes everything about Trump, that he is in bed with Putin, not just in collusion with them. That the pee-pee tape wasn't really a pee-pee tape, it was a, but it won't matter because the Senate is Republican, and there's nothing that can be done about it. And so I think that's what the Democrat plan is that they're just going to drag it out for 2 years, and right before the election, they'll have it all set up so that we, the people, will be forced to vote Democrat in order to remove Trump. And then Trump doesn't want to leave, and he'll cause a conflict, as Cohen said. He fears that Trump will make the transition impossible to have happen. And he's done that type of thing before. When Comey came out with his book, Ainsley Earhart on Trump TV, on his favorite Fox and Friends show, is telling Geraldo Rivera, well, why doesn't Trump just bomb Syria to distract from Comey's book? So that evening, what does Trump do? Syria, breaking news, has been bombed. Trump gave the order to bomb Syria. On a Friday night, nonetheless, so that it would carry over into the weekend. That's when you do things, on a Friday night. Because, when you fire somebody, you don't want to do it on a Monday. Because they'll come back with a gun and shoot everybody. You do it on a Friday night so that they have the weekend to cool off. So, alrighty. So yeah, I'm considering doing some things about that. And if you've seen my other videos, you'll know that what I had done to try to get my kids back. So I'm all educated and up to speed, even though it's been almost a decade now, over a decade now actually, since I pursued that course, which I was shut down. And so I think I can figure out a manner in which to submit the complaints and avoid those denials for my petition of a redress and save America, because nobody else is doing it. There are kids in Oregon who were able to get other kids from other states to join in their lawsuit to stop the government in producing fossil fuels. That was on 60 Minutes on Sunday. So that was back in 2015. So yeah, they're getting screwed over because we're now at 2019, and 60 Minutes finally covered it. And so yeah, that's not good. The teenager is now 19 or 20 now. So not good. It takes way too long in court cases. I mean, our lives are in jeopardy because of the destruction of Earth, and these kids are trying to save it through the courts, and the courts are purposely delaying things, and Trump, of course, is on the opposite end, and he's causing no delay and not wanting it to go through, and so yeah, I need to figure out a way to prevent that kind of delay in my court filing. So, and a national emergency may be the way to do that, which is what those kids should have done. Their lawyer representing them should have done that, but their lawyer didn't think there was a chance that they were going to ever get away with it. And so, yeah, that's why it's dragged out for 4 years now. So, all right. 30 minutes. Countdown to Rachel.